Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the 2019 Ramadan edition of the Cook Halal Show, and yeah, I'm your host today, Irfan Abrams. And some of you tuned in last year. Well, don't talk about any of the grey hairs that we see now, but I think at this point in time we're focusing on Ramadan and all the goodness that comes with Ramadan, but with Ramadan comes special recipes as well. So today is no different. Today I'm going to share with you something maybe out of the box, something you wouldn't have thought of. But today we're going to make a fish chowder served with a strawberry yogurt and aniseed bread. How does that sound for you? I think I can't wait to put the dish together for you, and just looking forward to you sharing this recipe with so many others, and just getting everybody to share this wholesome brothy type of soup that you're going to need after a full day of fasting. I think there's nothing better than the month of Ramadan, and I'm really looking forward to sharing all the blessings with you, inshallah. And by the way, this fish chowder comes with extra barakah, so you've got to have to make this happen for you, inshallah. To make the fish chowder dish, we're going to need the following ingredients: fresh haddock, corn, butter, potato, parboiled potato, a good red chili, some coriander, some salt, and some cayenne pepper. We're also going to need some fresh spring onion, as well as some fresh spinach. And that's what we're going to need to make this very special dish. So I'm just heating up my pan. The butter is going to go in soon. I've got some fresh spring onions that I have over here, and I'm going to get this nicely chopped up over here. So don't worry about your fingers, and don't worry about if it's going to be too thick or too thin, because I'm going to show you what's going to happen once we have all our ingredients in the pot. The blender is going to come in really handy, because that's going to be the key to our consistency of this special soup. And take note, I'm using the whole spring onion, not only the white oniony side, but the leaves as well, because it gives good color and it gives good taste. So don't be shy to use the whole of the spring onion. So I've got that chopped up. I've got my butter. It's going to go into the pan. Take note, the butter must not be too hot. The pan mustn't be too hot, because you don't want to burn the butter. You just want it to nicely simmer in the pan. So as the butter is busy simmering down, what we're going to do is we're going to get the chives in there already. So in goes the chives while the butter is simmering. So I've got some sweet corn that's going to go in, but take note, I'm only putting in 2 big spoons of corn, right? Because that is all going to come together later when we get ready plating the whole dish. So I've got the chives going on the inside over there, just giving it a few minutes to just come together over here. We're just sweating it down. We're not going to brown anything at all. So my coconut milk goes in as the corn and the spring onion is in the pot. And then with that, just to even it all out, I'm going to have some fresh milk as well. We're going to bring this slightly to a boil, the milk with the corn and the chives in. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to add the haddock that's going to just slightly simmer in the pan. So I've got my first piece of haddock in, and I'm just going to continue. I've got 3 nice cuts of lovely thick cuts of haddock that's going to go into the milk and the coconut milk and fresh milk. Now what that's going to do now is that's just going to soften up the fish. We're not going to cook it through. It's going to soften up. And with that, I'm also going to now add my pre-cooked potato that's been boiled in onion. Therefore, we're not using onion when we put it in the pot. So that's going to go in as well. Right, and I'm just going to slightly turn down the heat. I've got some heat going there, slightly turn down the heat, and I'm going to add some more of the potato in. There we go. I think that's the smell already makes me hungry, and bukate is nog ver van daar say no. So we're gonna get some. I'm gonna put in a pinch of salt. That's gonna go in just to give it that extra flavor, right? And then what's going to go in with that is a nice special red chili. So I'm gonna take the chili. I'm not going to take out the seeds on the inside. I'm going to chop it up with the seeds on the inside because I want to give it a bit of a kick, and I want to use the natural chili. You can use the dry chili, absolutely no problem. It's going to go in as well. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to stir it in. We're going to give this a few more minutes just to cook away. So as the milk, the coconut milk is boiling away with the fish and haddock inside over there, I'm going to now take it off the heat and I'm going to place it on my board. And all I want to do at this point in time is I want to take out the haddock because I'm going to have to flake it up in order to add it into the consistency, the mixture in over here. So I'm going to take this out and I'm just going to rest it on the one side. Okay, I'm going to rest it on the one side. So what do I have here? All I have left is I've got my potato with my spring onion as well as my corn. I'm going to take this mixture that's in the pot. I'm going to place it into my blender and I'm going to blend it all up. It's going to go into a brand new pot. So very quickly I'm going to start getting this into my blender, and I'm going to get the new pot ready. Okay, so we've got everything in our blender. It's going to go into on my blender over there. As we get, what I want you to have on the one side, I want you to have a bit of milk, because what's going to happen when you blend potato, then the gluten and the starch of the potato tends to become elasticated, and sometimes you need a lot of liquid to blend it correctly. So we've got that going, and as you can see, it's thickening up already. Amazing how that happens. And I'm just going to add some more milk. Those of you who were timing me, I think it took about 30 seconds to blend all of that up. I've got my very, very, very clean pot that I've got as I'm going to get ready to put that mixture into the pot. But before I do that, I'm just going to add a little bit of milk, as well as a little bit of coconut milk into the pot firstly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just finely chop up some fresh spinach. Okay, it doesn't have to be too much, just the spinach is just going to go in to give it that extra color, because remember, we eat with our eyes. I'm now going to add my spinach to that mixture. And again, I like asking questions and ask questions to myself as well. Why would I want to do that now? That is just to soften the spinach leaf, that when we do dig into the chowder, it's not going to be too stringy. It's just going to be nice and soft that we can dig into as we speak. So as the spinach is in there, I'm going to add the corn. I'm going to add an extra bit of salt, and then we don't forget a very good cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper will just give this fish dish that kick that we're going to need, besides the spinach that's going to give us the energy to rejuvenate ourselves. I'm going to take a fork, and I'm just going to, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to flake the fish so that the skin can be separated from the fish. My haddock nicely flaked. My fish is ready. My potato mixture is ready. All the other little bits are all ready, and now we're just going to put it all together once the spinach had a few minutes in the coconut oil. So whilst that is warming up, I'm just going to take a few dhania leaves and I'm just going to roughly chop it up. Right? I'm going to now add that to my mixture. And if you, like I said, if you're smelling what I'm smelling, then buka time must come very, very quickly. I think that's perfect as we have it there. I'm going to now add my potato, corn, spring onion mixture. Right. And now I'm going to turn down the heat. Remember, we don't want anything boiling. The heat is turned down. I'm now going to add my extra corn, sweet corn. That's going to go in. Going to give it that lekker chunky feeling. So the extra corn goes in. I'm going to add another 2 knipseltjies van sout. I think my mom will be proud of my Afrikaans. And then the cayenne pepper. Cayenne is just going to give it that extra bit of kick. I put in 3 bits of cayenne pepper. And now I'm going to put in my flaked haddock. Use your hand, because then you're going to separate it from the skin that might still find itself onto the fish. I think my chowder is just about ready. It takes about 5 minutes. Remember, we don't want anything to boil. So my chowder is ready. I think I'm ready for this to rest. Like with any soup, you need a side dish to go with it, and how better than to try something totally different. I've got just some flour, and I'm going to make, remember, it's a strawberry yogurt and aniseed bread. That's what we're going to have with our fish chowder. So I've just got 500 grams of normal bread flour, and then I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of caster sugar, right? Maybe 2 and a bit, a teaspoon and a half of salt that we're going to add in over here. I got 1.5 teaspoons of aniseed. If you put in too much aniseed, it's going to overpower the main ingredient, which is 200 mils of strawberry yogurt. You have the strawberry yogurt where you still have the strawberry pieces in. That will just give extra flavor and extra texture to the bread. And I've got 2 teaspoons of instant yeast that I'm going to include in this dish over here. So I've got that going. Now before I'm going to add my lukewarm water to the mixture, I just want to work through the yogurt and all the dry ingredients that I've put in. I'm going to add my little bit of lukewarm water at the time, and I'm looking for a nice stretchy consistency of my bread in order for me to knead it now after a long day of fasting. So what's going to happen now is we're going to knead this bread. We're going to let it rest until it rises. So this is what I wanted, a perfectly kneaded bread mixture. All we're going to do is, I've got a little bit of sunflower seed. I'm going to just dab it at the bottom of my bowl, knead it on top so it's not going to stick to anything. That's what we're going to do. It's going to rest and it's going to rise to double its size. After that, you shape it into whichever shape you wish to. 200 degrees for 10 minutes in a preheated oven, and after 10 minutes you turn your stove down to 180 degrees. 20 minutes after that, your bread is done, and we're going to serve it with our fish chowder. Our chowder is nice and steaming, and I'm going to plate it up over here. Alhamdulillah, very lekker. So I'm plating it up. Get some nice bits of that haddock in there. Get a bit of the corn. And you know what? We're not going to be fancy with any of the coriander because we've got coriander in there. So there's my fish chowder, and there's the strawberry yogurt and aniseed bread. We're just going to rustically cut it up because there's nothing better than a bit of bread that goes with our very special soup. All I'm going to do is just lay it on the side that we have there. I'm sure 3 pieces would be suffice for now. The smell of the aniseed, the strawberry yogurt is coming out as well. So there I have it. There you have it. Irfan Abrams fish chowder and strawberry yogurt and aniseed bread. For more of these types of exciting recipes, you can log on to cookhalal.com. Stay focused on this program throughout the month of Ramadan. I hope each and every one of you have a Ramadan Mubarak and a Ramadan Kareem. May all your wishes that you wished for in this month may come true, and may Allah guide and protect you all always, inshallah. Until we meet again, Irfan Abrams, I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.